So let's go ahead and get started with the first topic of the meeting. The first topic is the commander positions and their moving from battalions and their required time. So after talking with Brad, myself, and Crimson, it has been decided that a commander, once you hold the position, you must maintain that position for 2 weeks, and if you desire to change battalions, you need to contact a HA Plus and give them a 2 weeks so that they have time to find another commander before you leave. After that 2 weeks, if another commander has not been found, you may still be allowed to leave, but if you leave before those 2 weeks, you will be blacklisted from all battalions. Does anyone... I'll go ahead and take PTS. Does anyone have anything they want to say about that? Or is everybody okay? Either +1 or -1 if you agree or disagree in the community text.
Jim has a PTS. You good to talk?
Yep.
Alright, go ahead, Jim.
Can you make that apply to troopers as well? Because I've noticed people just leave battalions without saying anything.
We will be setting a... that's for commanders.
Ace just left Ori without saying anything.
I got you. We will be... another topic of this meeting is players changing battalions.
Alright.
Is that it? Everyone good? +1s? No one else disagrees? No comments? So we'll move on. The second topic of this is the giving of positions and tryout and cooldown requirements. As everybody knows, if you are the commander of a battalion, all tryouts that are made for that battalion need to be provided to Crimson, where he will then bundle them all together so we have all of them. But for Special Forces units, like ORI, RC, Secret Service, ARC, etc., that would need to be reviewed and be approved by an HA Plus as difficult enough according to the positions that they are needed. So, this is to stop tryouts from being way too easy for a relatively important or what's supposed to be a hard position to get into. And then
also, if I can butt in real quick, Yummy.
Of course.
Tryouts need to be actually held too, even if you're a new battalion or legion just starting up. Don't just start accepting players in because you need a player base.
So, everyone needs to be held to the same standard. Even myself, I started as a private in the 501st, worked up, and then applied for Commander Fox. Brad started as a private, and he worked all the way up in the officer ranks, and then applied for Rex. Everyone's gone through their fair share of work. None of us got handed positions, so we don't want positions just being handed out. Otherwise, there's no point in holding the positions because there's no effort to actually get them, and if they're all taken, what are new people going to have to really work with? So, either +1 or -1 in the community text if you agree or disagree with that, or have a PTS that you'd like to say.
I like Jim's pluses. Jim has a PTS. Is he good to speak?
Yep.
Alright, go ahead, Jim.
Ori. Now, they had a completely different tryout system compared to everyone else. This one was based off of time, and then when you were ready, you couldn't really join. You could ask about it, but how Ori worked is you had to meet a certain amount of time, train enough people, and Ori decided if you were fit for tryouts. How the original Strife Aaron did it was he would see how good you were at Climb Swib, and he would just randomly assign it to you. You can accept it if you would like. So, how do you want to apply that to the tryouts?
I think Crimson is already fine with Ori tryouts.
Already fine?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if that's okay, then yeah.
So far, based on Ori tryouts, it requires quite a bit of dedication to the server and are actually quite hard. So far we've had no qualms with ORI tryouts, and I also do trust you to not go easy on people when giving them ORI or allowing them to do tryouts for it.
Yeah, after seeing Ace, I realized I had to make it a lot harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Alright, is that all, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any PTS they'd like to say? Or anything that they need to say? That doesn't know if Brett hasn't said anything yet. Okay, so next one. We're going.
I said nope, no other PTSs.
The next one is players leaving battalion and their required time. So, obviously, we've had players just swap from one battalion to another without giving any notice or anything. We have decided to make it at least 1 week, 5 days to a week, that you must be in a battalion before you can leave it. This can be bypassed, however, if you have permission from the commander of the battalion, not an XO, the commander. On that note, if you leave without any warning or anything, and you have not filled your 1 week, then you will be blacklisted from all. This is to stop people from stealing from other battalions who just got players and trying to steal them over to theirs.
Also, even if you have met your 1 week or 5 days, please notify your commander if you're leaving.
Yes, don't just famous. Especially with a small community like this, we don't have too many battalions. We finally have all commander slots filled, which is great. So now the entire aim of this community is to grow. So all commanders need to work with each other. Don't try stealing from one another. Help each other's battalions grow. See what the players want and guide them to the battalion that seems to match what they want to play or how they want to play. So don't try to work with each other. We're a small community, so everyone needs to try to work together. So, +1s, -1s, or any PTSs.
So far, no PTSs.
Okay, with that, we're gonna move on. Okay, so next one, the changing of piloting rules. So, I'll explain it simply, and then if you have any questions about it, I'll go into more detail. So then, people who can grant PTSs out of commanders. You have security leads, which are 2: Fox, Thorn, Fire, Stone. Pilot Commander, Eagle. Those are the current ones who will be able to grant flight if they are on. Out of commanders, you also have Officer Plus and Naval, as well as Jedi Plus, well, Jedi Master Plus. All those individuals will be allowed to grant flight or landing when they are on. If they are not on, then other commanders may grant the ability to either take flight or land. But if one of them are on, only they may grant it. This is to stop people from just flying around the map randomly and doing stuff for no reason.
Yep.
As well as give pilot lead maybe something. So, +1s, -1s, or any PTSs.
Okay, Cody gave us a +21. Nice.
21. Oh, nice. Okay, then. Nothing else. We'll go ahead and move on. So, we have been thinking about the introduction of a community game night, where the community will get together and play a variety of games besides Gary's Mod to meet new people and possibly recruit to the server. So let's say we'd all go play some GTA 5 Online or Arma, or just, all go play a big game together. Have some fun, meet some new people, and if we find some good people, try to bring them to the server. So it'd be also like a recruiting session, but also a game night. And for some people, I am willing to buy you the game for community game night. I am. So, I don't care. Don't forget, the server leadership, I am one that will definitely push out this, help get this community growing. So, if people are actually interested in that, we want to get, obviously, the community's feedback. So from the people here, you can all Just put in like PTS real quick, and then we'll get your say. But would y'all like to see that, or would y'all don't really care for it?
Okay, so we have Jam and different. Kane, yes. Mercy plus like 2 million. Spider Skittles plus 69, and Kane plus 420.
Okay. So we'll try to set a date in the future. Obviously, sometimes not everyone can make it, but we'll try to set a date in the future for community game nights where we can go and all play together to build community bonds and possibly reach the server. So then, with that in mind, we'll go ahead and move to the last topic of this meeting. What changes would the community like to see? But this does not include adding more classes or anything like that to the battalion. What was already planned is set. We're not going to add like Bad Batch. We're not going to add all those other little sub stuff. The second AC, I think it was, right, Cody? That was the last thing that's being added. Second AC or like whatever they were.
Second AC and Ghost Company.
There it is. Yep, those are the last two that are being added in Welcome Crimson.
Also, this is your time to tell us if you'd like to see any more ground rules in the future, and Kane has a PTS as he could speak.
Yep, go ahead.
Alright, go ahead, Kane.
Just a little small thing that I noticed during downtime. I was messing around on Scorch. I think Scorch should have a bit more health since Scorch deals with explosives and is very prone to dying.
Just let you know, that's up to what the commander is for RC.
Yeah, I know Jonathan was saying that, but I'll let him say that when he has the chance.
That's been noted.
Alright, so Jam wants to speak. Are you done, Kane?
Yeah.
Great. So Jam's next. Go ahead, Jam.
Okay. I've noticed this about a few regiments. To me, they didn't really make sense, like the Flame Trooper for CG. I didn't understand what's with that, and as well as the Arc Trooper for pilots. Now, I know Arcs are like advanced recon, and they do recon in the sky, but Arc, I don't see the point for Arc for pilot. Now, about commander ranks, I feel like since you're a commander, there's not much to do but promote people and train people. That's more of a side thing, like personal thing. Like give commanders something to be rewarded for as well. But that would also come with the commander responsibility. Like, I know we talked about this before, Krim, but I still feel like there should be a responsibility for certain commanders to lead, such as like if a higher ranking commander's on, he has a responsibility to like tell troopers what to do, because most of the events I've seen sometimes it's a bit chaotic, but no one knows what to do and no one's giving out orders, and it'd feel more organized, at least for me. That's all.
So, when you say that, are you talking about like having commanders actually lead their own guys on the during events?
It's not just that. Like the lack of communication between some battalions.
Okay.
It would be all easier if like not just one person, but like someone can help communicate with the at least naval officers who are hosting the event and with the troopers, because it's not only just me saying what to do in like RP wise or an RP sense.
So, commanders need more responsibility and communication between battalions. Something like that. That's what I have written down. That sounds good for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And is that all, Jam, sir?
Yep.
Any other PTSs or anything? Mercy and Skittles? No?
If we have nothing, I will go ahead and do one more topic here, based on what Good Sir Shock just said, or Jammy Jam. Okay, so when you said commanders need more, you can go ahead and grant his talk power real quick, just so I can hear what you had to answer my questions. So for the the benefits of commander, did you mean like rewards for effort or anything like that?
Not really. It's just being a commander. Like if we're just gonna being commander, I feel like it can get stale if like we all just stay the same forever. Like say, you know how you're an officer once you get like the top colonel, you can prestige
Yeah.
and all that. Like that gives the troopers something to do, like to work forward to. Instead of the commander, once you're just commander forever, and like nothing changes. It just feels stale to me.
Yeah. Okay.
If no one else agrees with that, I'm fine with just keeping commander. But... And since we're
Is it-
getting a bigger community, I feel like
At the current
organization would
moment,
help.
organization. Okay. So at the current moment, I don't know what, I guess, big things we can make commanders look forward to getting, but what I can offer out of my own effort is the implementation of, like, similar to how in the EPs we have Invicta credits for awards for good events and stuff like that. I could put in commander credits where commanders who do good in battalions, work well in events, communicate, and who show themselves can get awarded them and get the same benefits as EP, in-game items, external items, just to try to motivate and give commanders something to work towards as well. If something like that sounds close to what you're trying to get.
I wasn't really thinking like that. More of the commander. Actually, all the servers I've been on besides this one have had commander ranks for commanders to work forward to. Like the junior, senior, brigade, and marshal. It
Oh,
also
so like
worked
Rex wouldn't just be captain for the rest of his
I've
time.
noticed some servers like you can keep captain, but you have like an actual rank of like senior commander or.
So the implementation of commander ranks beyond just the commander.
Yes.
Okay.
It would also like if a marshal is or like a brigade is on and a junior's on, the responsibility to lead like or organize the troops would go down to the brigade commander, rather than just like everyone running around. Did I explain that okay or no?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I'm just writing it down. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Does anyone else have any recommendations they'd like to see on the server? Any changes, any add-ons that aren't like whole new things? I will take that as
JJ's typing. Okay. One thing I do want to say is I know in some servers they have a base or like a base commander where like the top commander gets to be base commander for like a month or two. Which is kind of like what Jam was saying.
So we have no more recommendations. We'll just go to last thoughts, and so everyone will get one chance to just go ahead and say what they want to say. We'll start out with obviously the server owner, Crimson. Do you have anything you'd like to say, or any last thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, Bread.
Please make sure that if your commander wasn't here today, to get them to watch the YouTube video that Yemi's putting out for it, so they are filled in on the do's and don'ts that we implemented.
Okay. That could usually be myself, but I'm not gonna do that. So okay. Who else? ETS has any last thoughts? Kane, you got anything?
And good.
Mercy.
Mercy's good.
Jam.
Jim. Okay, he has an EP idea.
Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe put a limit on vehicles so we don't have like infinite planes or
I think there
thing.
are a limit on vehicles.
Is
in
it?
There
the
is.
yacht.
From what I saw, like everyone just I saw like 6 like Arc 170s in the Hangar Bay last night. I was like, like everyone
Like,
just fly now.
spawned
or-
in.
Yeah, they were just they were. Maybe I saw 2 on each side, and I know maybe there
Okay.
might have been at least 5, but just a cap on that, so we didn't have constantly people flying out, and people should actually use them wisely.
Okay. So with that in regard, if anyone is on, do not leave vehicles just sitting around, and please try to also, even if in kind of OSC hours, as long as you have permission from a Commander Plus, you can fly with them, but don't. If you have the ability to, do not just spawn stuff in for people to be flying around and fucking around, and be careful what you spawn in. Especially commanders, there are quite a few items that if you spawn in, will immediately crash the server.
Yep.
And if you start crashing the server, it might come time where we need to remove certain abilities of commanders. Because commanders are granted the privilege of having staff-like abilities to spawn stuff in. Do not abuse it.
Oh, also, if it's an event or something, and you see a vehicle, like mainly I'm talking about like a starfighter or something laying around, and you are not pilot qualified or Commander Plus, please don't just jump in it and start flying around and wiping out enemies.
Or it'll be deleted. And thank you, Jam Jam. Okay,
Yes.
next, last but certainly not least, Mr. Spider Skittles. Got anything?
I don't think he's here.
Yeah, I don't think he's here. Oh, also, Jim Jam put in one more thing. Commander should also have to ask permission, such as requesting for a TX-130 in the EP will grant or deny it.
We will implement that one as well. As head of EP, I'll put it in.
I wouldn't say EP. I wouldn't say an EP should give it a grant or deny. I'd say single EP plus could grant or deny
Well,
it.
the one running the event.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, for those who run the event, put in the requests and they will either confirm or deny. Other EPs will not be allowed to just bypass them unless the senior EP deems it absolutely necessary or is granted permission from the one running the event.
Yeah, like if like a senior EP sees you getting absolutely murdered because an EP is going ham on droids or something, we got you. Alright.
That
As long as
also
it does
to
not
add,
interfere.
Yeah.
that goes for staff as well. So if you are an admin plus, before spawning anything in, contact pretty much a senior admin or an HA plus for approval. If not, consequences of it coming down.
Okay. And last thing before the meeting ends, any thoughts on any more rules that need to be implemented? Any rules?
Jim, you can talk if you want. You're good to unmute yourself. You can say that out loud so I don't have to I don't have to read it. Read it. Okay, fine. Okay, so Jim said one more thing. Spawning in weapons or items classes don't have. He's been guilty of that himself, but so are COs and EPs. But so commanding officers and EPs don't just spawn stuff in that they shouldn't have, like a heavy having a pro med kit.
And actually, I fully agree. Now with our community
do too.
growing, we will set the rule here and now that unless you are the person running the event, you are not to spawn yourself weapons or items that you should not have, whether you have the ability to or not.
And
Only
then
the
Kane
one-
has a question about that.
Go ahead, Kane.
Sorry. Would that include for example, since I'm Cody, would that include like the 212 knife? Because I mean,
That's fine.
and then another thing. So Waxer has the artillery cannon, fucking whatever it's called. Would I be able to use that as well? Since one of my troops have that.
I'm going to go ahead and say no on that one. Simply
Okay.
because the benefit of being certain classes or certain roles, or, just in general, just classes, is that you gain access to special items. Like, there are items that Thorn has, and Thyre, and Stone that I don't, as Fox. And I'm not allowed, even as Head EP, I'm not allowed just to be running around giving myself everything. No. Yeah. So,
Alright.
it's just to allow the benefit, because it takes away, if someone gets Waxer, it kind of takes away their special. Like, only they have this weapon. But if someone is just giving themselves it, it takes away from what makes them special and what makes that class actually worth going for.
And
Alright.
also, every commander gets that OP sniper rifle that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone has their benefits, and then everyone has different things for different situations, and that's what makes it actually nice, so that when we're in events, let the people who have the items to do it or the roles to do it, or else there was no point in them ever going for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Red does not find
Think
anyone
we're all
else.
good.
Well, if we have nothing else to say, then this is the end of the first community meeting for Invicta on the date of 4/12/2022. I actually thank all of you for actually participating in the community meeting, and we will start adding stuff or removing stuff based on what we have talked here today. And as of this moment, any and all rules discussed in this meeting are hereby in effect.